Hi there, this is the filament runout sensor optical side on filament feed. So the filament feed comes in from the side that I'm trying to work on. Now there is a sort of early iteration. I have not been able to print this, well, I haven't been able to test it anyway, because I don't have a optical end switch thing. I have some on order, but at this time I don't have any. Now, on the first one, it was just basically filament coming through the sides, and it was pointed out to me that with say 1.75 there would not be, like, it would not break the light beam enough to trigger it. Basically with 3 it might work, but 1.75 it almost definitely wouldn't. This is what somebody pointed out to me. I'd like to thank them for that. So I've done some redesign work on here. Some of these are like, I want to keep some of these for if we need to revise it. So basically now there's an extra piece here. These won't be printed out in this direction. This will be actually printed out, well, like this. That's why it has this angle on here, to try and avoid any sort of supports being needed. But anyway, this sort of goes in here. Let me line that up a bit. So it'll be about there, give or take a bit, resting on the filament as the filament goes through. There are some angles there to try and alleviate filaments so going past. Anyway, so that will rest on the filament, and this will cover the light beam, most of this and the filament itself, because this will drop down between the two, sort of the LED emitter and the LED sort of receiver side. This is a plan anyway. That drops down below that while there's filament feeding, because the filament will rest on there. Now if the filament breaks, this will drop down and it will allow the light through this gap here that I've got in. There's a little bit of space there for tolerances, basically, as you see. So the light will, when it drops down, the light will hopefully be enough to go through this gap. This has not been tested, but it's sort of, I'm hoping this will work out. There's some angles on here to help filament feed. Now, when you do filament sort of changing and such, like, well, if the filament breaks, this is definitely, you're going to have to be careful with this, because there is an unload option in Marlin, and the filament will possibly want to come backwards. And if this drops down, well, then the filament itself is probably going to go actually through that gap. See? And then it's going to go through the wrong gap. So partly of this top here is so you can grip it and lift it up when the filament does break. I have not been able to test this. This is the very first version, I should call it, of this. I don't think there's much else here. I'll just say that that hole there is for the LED. There's an LED light on the board, and the plan there is to put a bit of filament feeding tube, or if you have clear filament feeding tube or air pipe or something like that, going down, and that will act as a light pipe to the LED that's on here. There are some sort of light blocking bits of plastic here, so it will be printed in this direction, and this one will be printed in this direction. And there's like this plate that fits on, like a cover thing, like a lid. I'm going to call it a lid. That's got a slot in so you can slide like wires in there. And it's got these, actually I need to put some like cutouts here to leave getting this off actually. I'll do that just now. So that's the basic idea here. As I say, I can't test this until I get my optical end stops.